reading students. And I'm going to channel the back, because I'm going to talk. So, Illumishade, yes. To all of you, those who know Elegy out there, and I think there's a fair bunch of you who do, this is the other band of Fabienne from Elegy. And if you don't know it, you're missing out. They already have one album out. It's called Ecliptic Wake of Shadows, and it's fabulous. And it has Fabienne on the cover. Yes. It has Fabienne and all the other Illumi people on the cover. Yes. And Jonas, by the way, also from Elegy. Yes. Jonas is great. I fucking love Jonas. And now they're coming with... Stop talking, okay. And now they're coming with a new single, which is called Elegy. We've already had one released this year called Elegy, and it was a lot darker than this will be, I'm pretty sure. Now, one more thing I have to say before we get into this, although I'm really, really hyped about it, is I know it might look like I'm wearing a burning black metal pineapple, but what this actually is the t-shirt you can get if you join Fabi's Patreon for 25 euros or more. And no, this is not a paid promotion. I'm a fan. Yes, trust me, I know. Yes. I've seen it firsthand way too many times. I'm a fan. Yes. Okay, I have something to say. I was looking on their social media and I saw a spoiler. And I could spoil it for you, but I won't. Thank. And it's making me very curious. Alright. Are you ready? No. Okay. Talk. There's something that listeners of deathcore, or death metal, or black metal, or all these really dark and spewy subgenres of metal don't understand, which is that you can be a princess who soars up in the sky and kisses a butterfly, and then you can drop to the earth and cause an earthquake. And if you're Illumishade, you can do them both at the same time. I mean, in all fairness, Jonas and the drum boy aren't exactly princesses, but when you did say about princess soaring up to the sky, I did think about Devin Townsend. Yes. And he can fairly do both quite well.
That was so good.
There are so many things about this that I love. The riffs, the tones, the drumming, very groove focused. The spoiler. Can you say what the spoiler was? The breakdown. No. What was the spoiler? The theremin. Oh, the instrument thingy, yes. I think I've only seen that once before, probably in a Forever Still. Yes. Yeah. That's such a cool thing. I'm pretty sure they processed that because it has a very raw sort of freckly sound by default. Mm-hmm. But this one sounded very like echoey and atmospheric, so I'm pretty sure there's been some post-production going on in there. But I really feel for her because if she's gonna have to do that live, you have to be very still. Mm-hmm. And, you know, cautious about how you move when you play that instrument because it's all about proximity and everything's headbanging and she can't. Look, Miriam is the name of the keyboardist. Yes. If you have to do this live, thereminist. Yes. If you have to do this live, my advice to you is, try going through our try not to headbang challenges and win all of them. Then you know you're set for the show. Yeah. Alright. I have things to say. Right from the get-go, the first riff, I felt like it's trying to stretch my face upwards. Because when something is really uplifting and soaring with that sort of keyboards, I usually go, and when something is that heavy, I usually go, so I was kind of trying to do both at the same time, and I think I just end up with a really long, awkward face, like I had been drawn by Salvador Dali, or something like that. And that's just the riffs and the intro, and then the whole song is like so heavy and so groove focused, but so coated in melody and electronics and orchestrals all the time that you can see the cognitive dissonance on me already. It's constantly sinking me into that headbanging pace, you know, and I feel like I want to do that, but the orchestrals are like always pulling me out of it, and it's like, no, you gotta stay up and dream. Yeah, I love it, but it's hard to listen to because I don't know which emotional response to have, and my body and my brain doesn't know how to have both of them at the same time. It's weird you say that because, like, I feel like it doesn't feel inconsistent, you know? It's like these polar opposites, but they work in harmony. No, I don't mean it in a bad way. I love how they work. Yeah. I just can't work with it. I'm not that multifunctional. And just one guy. No, like, to make it clear, I'm trying to be descriptive here. I'm not criticizing this song. I actually love this song. I think it might be the best they ever put out. I think it might be the best they ever put out, too. And I'm the one who's usually a bit more critical of, like, Disney stuff. But the riffing in this song and the way it works in parallel with the atmosphere has been absolutely top-notch brilliant. I want to give a massive shout out to Jonas. I feel like when it comes to guitar tones, both in Elegy and in Illumishade, his guitar playing sounds awesome. And I think one skill that he took from Elegy and put it into Illumishade is how to make short, concise solos very efficient. Because when you have a band with like 1,000 people like Elegy, there isn't that much room for everyone to do a solo. So his are always very like short but punchy, and they peak out immediately. You notice it. And that's very nicely integrated in here too. And the ending of the solo is really cool because it's like a really high bend and then a really low sort of tremolo. Ooh. Yeah. So you have that skew effect sort of connecting the really high upsoaring effect of the solo with the riff that it drops into afterwards. Yeah. That was a spectacular transition. I think actually that sort of tone bendings and textural shifts they do is one of the things that drawn me to them from the get-go.
Yeah.
Like, they have a bit of the djenty effect that has these, like, descending bass effects.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that with so many electronics and orchestral elements as well. Like, just the sound design and production going into this on its own is, like, mind-blowing to me. I think stuff like Purveyor or Devin Townsend are what I would put on par with Illumishade when it comes to production work. I'm with you on that one. I want to get into the chorus a bit as well. It wasn't that Disney-ish to me.
Yeah.
It had the same allure that a Disney thing would have, but not so much of the cheese. It felt a lot more mature, a lot more serious, which I don't know if for Fabi that's a compliment or not, because cheese is like her thing, but for me, I really, really liked it. It's cheese, but the riffs stink. It's blue cheese. I'm sorry, go on. I'm sorry, cheese. This song is stinky cheese. Yes! Okay. I want to talk a bit about the breakdown as well, because I thought about this, and I don't know how many people hearing a song like this would actually make the connection, but that was actually deathcore songwriting. Because it had that drop, and the sort of, I don't know if it was a China symbol or what sort of symbol was going on. The way that was syncing with the riff pitch was very much the kind of thing I hear when Lorna Shore drops. Okay? Talking the way it's synchronized and the way the pacing goes, and then it slows down, and then it did a structural thing which the only time I've heard that before was in Catacombs by Shadow of Intent, which is you drop the breakdown, you start slowing it down, and then you bring in the double pedals and give it that drilling effect.
Yeah.
So if you would have had a guttural spewing voice instead of Fabi's mysterious ahs onto that, that would have been deathcore. But instead, it was a astral opening of a black hole. So that was great. And then the way Mark transitioned the drums into the next chorus was, it reminded me why I love this guy so much as a drummer. Like, he has a lot of projects. You should check out all of them. They are so groovy and so dream theater-ish in a way, but they keep the hook all the time. Yeah. It's amazing. I've been talking for so long. How many of you are still here? Very few, but since we've been talking for so long, we might as well go all the way, because now I have more ideas too. Now that you mentioned the drumming, I really love what they do with the drumming. When it comes to headbang stuff, I don't think it's the fastest sort of thrashy stuff that works for me. It's the more groove-laden sort of stuff, and Illumishade is top-notch on grooves. And there were a lot of cool transitions there in the last chorus, because that's where the drums actually peaked out at me. It's such a flashy video. There's so many melodies and riffs and solos. You don't really think about the drums that much, but that flavor at the end really brought it forward. Yeah. I feel there are so many different skill sets in this band that whenever the song goes by, they will like have moments that spotlight each. You know, you had the solo, you had the drum transition, you had the Fabi mysterious ahs, you had the weird warpy thing about the Fabi mysterious ahs. I think what they do really well is that the melody and the riff sort of take turns. And like the mysterious ahs, when you had the breakdown, they were kind of in the background. And then in the chorus, you still have the riff, but it doesn't have so much punch anymore. So they have this sort of seamless interplay of the two. Yeah, and then visually, they do kind of that sort of motion as well, where they warp the image from one to the other, and it's not just a cut. Yeah, visually, it was also so good. I could just keep going. We have to stop. One more thing. Nobody has ever looked so good with a smear before. I love the smear. It's a very good looking smear. It's a glitzy smear. Yeah, it's a Disney smear. I used to be smeared on my face as a kid when I ate and I didn't know how to eat, but it didn't look that good. I was smeared with beer on my face at the concert I was at last night. Yes. See, that's not how you smear. This is how you smear. I like that smear. This video gets an award in smearness. We really should be done now. So if you enjoyed this reaction, we greatly appreciate the likes and shares. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. Ring bells. Thank you very much for stopping by. We hope you enjoyed your stay, and we'd love to see you back. Let me know very soon. Proceed.